Yes, sir. So when they back into your driveway, that's when you know you got the big boy coming. Yes, sir. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So as you saw, UPS was dropping something off to the house a couple nights ago. It's been a long wait for these things, man. Finally end up pulling the trigger. Well, without further ado, let's show you what got dropped off. Big boys, yes sir. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finally pulled the trigger on the Assassinators. Got the 29.5 by 8 by 14. Shout out to SuperATV for the quick shipping. Actually having a tough decision on either getting these or the 32s. Alright guys, so there's a couple reasons why I pulled the trigger on the 29.5s compared to the 32s. The first reason is cost. It's an extra 35, 40 bucks per tire if I went to the 32s, so you're talking like 150-ish dollars more. That's not actually what scared me away from pulling the trigger on the 32s. It was just everywhere I read, I was getting different types of feedback on what people had to do to run the 32s. Some people had to run spacers, some people have to run aftermarket boards, some people had to cut their stock boards. I personally didn't want to cut my stock boards. I actually like them. I also did not want to run spacers because by running a spacer, A, it's additional cost, and I've learned in the automotive world, do not buy cheap spacers, buy the good ones. You're probably talking an extra 150, 200 bucks. So with the spacers and the tires alone, you're probably like 400 or so, 350, 400, possibly aftermarket boards, which are about, I think Far Muddings are like 500. Don't quote me on these numbers. So you're probably looking at in the neighborhood of anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to run the 32s properly. So you gotta think about it. You pull the trigger on the 32s, then you have to turn around and buy spacers, then you have to turn around and buy new floorboards. On top of that, since the 32s are even heavier than the 30s, you probably want to upgrade your clutches. Well, the CB Tech only runs up to a 30-inch tire, which means you need to go to STM or QSC. So then you're looking at anywhere from what, $1,100 to $1,200-ish for the primary, and that's not counting the secondary. So as you can see, the cost kind of balloons up. Number two reason was weight. These Assassinators weigh almost as much as the stock Cryptids on the Canam wheels with the bead locks. So that kind of puts in perspective of how heavy these tires are. So I didn't really necessarily want to go with even a heavier tire and possibly run into more axles breaking, diffs breaking, and that opens up a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to get into right now, because I see on the threads all the time talking about, should I get a Maverick diff or should I go billet? And people are like, just bite the bullet and go billet. And I'm like, ugh. And I think they're like $1,100, $1,200, something like that. So again, the cost, it comes back to number one, the cost could keep increasing. Number three is, everyone said that the Assassinators, the 30s, 32s, no matter what size you get, they all are great. But a lot of people, I guess, just went to a 32 and never actually had a 30. But I kind of wanted to have my own review of them. So by getting the 30s, I can review them. If I need or want to go bigger, then I can go ahead and throw these on the wife's bike, and then she can have the 30s, I'll get the 32s, and we'll call it a day. I need some help from you guys. What clutches should I run? Should I run the CV Tech, which is only good for a 30-inch tire? Should I go with the STM, which obviously can run larger than a 30, so that would then set me up for if I go to a 32, or the QSC. All right guys, and that's another day hanging out with your boy PA. We got the Sassies on. We got tons of big things coming to the channel. Obviously I can't discuss those at this moment, but just like I did with the Super Clean sponsoring the video, I got some other big things coming to the channel for you guys. So go ahead, follow me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Hanging with PA. And that's just another day hanging out with your boy, P to the A. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.